Welcome back to the full battle review of the 3 Days of Gettysburg 3rd edition by GMT Games. Reviewing the 3 p.m. turn for July 1st. Okay, we got lots going on here. We'll start on the Confederate right flank. We've got Pender's division moving up and putting lots of pressure on what's left of Doubleday's division of the Union. You can see here that the Federals are in pretty bad shape. You can see how thin their line here is lined up on Seminary Ridge. And we've got some large Confederate batteries trying to pound and create some holes and wear down the Union line here that is set up on the hill. Got to get some infantry support in there so they can move up. One of the great little details of this game, which brings a little bit of realism, is how enemy batteries cannot move within 3 hexes of enemy units, basically keeping the artillery batteries from becoming an offensive weapon. They are a support weapon, so they shouldn't be able to advance fire on the enemies. I think that's a good little tidbit there. Yeah, I think this next turn is going to be pretty definitive what's going to happen along this line. Obviously, the Confederates are going to have to push quick to start breaking through before a lot more of the reinforcements from the Union come from the south here. Moving up the line to the northwest of Gettysburg, we got what's left of Heath's division pressing hard. The Union line is definitely beginning to waver. Some collapsed units here in the back. But I'll tell you, the Union, the Wadsworth's division here, we got Meredith and Cutler. These guys are pretty tough. Of course, this is all the groups from the Iron Brigade, whatnot. They are rolling some incredible rolls that are wearing down the Confederates in a lot of spots. Also, the Confederates are having a hard time rallying their troops to bring them back into line and able to launch some more assaults. Over here, though, these Confederate brigades really have not been committed, but they're going to be. We got some green guys here and some pretty large units here from Pettigrew's brigade. Will soon be launching up here on the Seminary Ridge in an attempt to break through and possibly create a pincer opportunity. Moving over here, we got Rhodes' division, which is causing the most damage at the point here, right above north of Gettysburg. They completely chewed up the remnants of the Union division under Schurz, actually killing and capturing Krasinski's brigade, completely destroying them here, cornering Krasinski in front of the advancing elements of Early's division, and killed him, wiped out his entire brigade. It was so bad that John Buford's cavalry, which is brought back just north of Gettysburg, had to move up, dismount, and move back up and try to slow the Rebs advancing here along the Newville Road, Carlisle Road, north of Gettysburg. Some pretty heroic stuff going on here because there's a lot. You can see they're quite outnumbering the rebel troops here, but I don't think Buford's cavalry is going to last much as an effective fighting unit past this turn. This could become a real problem. Moving down here to Early's division, who came in, I believe it was last turn. They are getting ready to launch some major assaults. We've got the rest of Howard's corps moving up here under Steiner's division, trying to brace for the onslaught of John Gordon's brigade and Hayes' brigade here. We've got also the other group of Early's division getting ready to flank what's left here of Buford's cavalry division. Now, the big event that's going to happen here, and like I said, I'm trying to play this in a way where I don't have intelligence of what's going to happen later on in the game as far as knowing what reinforcements are. I'm trying to create an atmosphere where each army is reacting to what's happening on the field rather than what's knowing, and that's part of soloing this and trying to make it as real as possible. I drew a random chit this turn, which this is the second time I've drawn it, which allows me to take one reinforcement group that's coming in either this turn or the following turn and bring them in at an alternate point, at one point north or south of the division. So what I have is Williams' division, which is supposed to arrive here, at Area 10 is actually going to be moved north to Area 9. And as you can see, that's going to create some quite the opportunities here. Come in and smash the advancing brigades of Hayes and John Gordon. This could cause a real issue for the Confederates, and I'm going to try and make it in a way that they aren't alerted to this happening until they become in line of sight. Now this screening cavalry patrol here, or cavalry regiment, if they see them, then they're going to be alerted and they can start maneuvering to react to it. But this is going to be a big, I think, something that could really change the course of this turn of the game, even if they can come in and cause some serious damage to Early's division. If they don't get there in time, that could be a real issue. Like I said, the biggest issue aside from that is what's going down here on the southwest. If the Confederates break through here and can maneuver well enough, they can move up behind the Union forces here south of Gettysburg and cause some real issues. So as far as combat effectiveness, we've got Schurz's division, which is combat ineffective for the Union, as well as Schonflenig brigade, and also Krasinski's is completely gone, so they're combat effective well. So that's one combat ineffective division and 2 brigades that are combat ineffective for the Union. For the Confederates, it's just Brockenbrough, but that's going to change because Brockenbrough was in reserve this last turn, hiding out here in a little area behind McPherson's Ridge, and he was fortunately out of line of sight, and he was rallied all but one of his brigades. But it's not going to be that big a deal. As you can see, these brigades here are pretty crappy. Horrible morale. It's not going to be easy to rally them, and I don't think they're going to contribute much to this turn. Okay, well, I think that's it for now, and I will be back at the end of the 4 p.m. turn, and we'll see what happens next.